Hey, welcome to Constantly Cruising. It's Will,
And I'm Cara.
and today we're going to walk through some of our favorite cruise hacks. It's going to be kind of just off the cuff, non-scripted. We've got our 10 hacks written out here, and we're just going to talk through them. So, you want to hit us off with the first one?
So, the first thing we want to talk about is how we carry our carry on for your embarkation day. So, normally the cabins are not going to be ready until normally around 1 o'clock. So, if you're going to be on the boat earlier than that, and let's say you want to swim, or if you maybe even want to change clothes, had you gotten off an airplane and you've just been traveling, I like to pack a separate change of clothes, my bathing suit, sunscreen. Of course, you're going to also want to make sure, just like when you go and fly, you need to keep all of your medications on you as well. And then, most importantly, make sure you have your medallion as well as your passport available in that carry on for you, also.
Yeah.
You're going to need that a couple different times. So, we drive since we live here in Florida. And so the port does require us to go through security even to enter it. So we have to show our passports there. And then, of course, also as you go through security, as you check in to board the ship, you'll have to show your medallion as well as your passport for that as well. So that's just a little hack that we both do for our carry-ons.
All right, the second thing we've got written down are magnetic hooks and clips. Cara loves this one. Remember, all the walls in your stateroom are all going to be magnetic. Anything that's got a magnet, you stick right up onto the wall.
Yeah.
So magnetic hooks are the way to go. I think you got yours on
You can get
Amazon.
them on Amazon. You can also get them and order them according to weight. So some of them are only going to be able to handle like your hat or your lantern. But I have found to hold up like a robe or a wet bathing suit, you're going to need to get a hook that's a little bit more sturdy. Just like you have to shop for your command hooks when you hang things, you've got to get ones that are according to weight.
Yeah, but this is
Yeah.
a big plus.
Yeah.
It gets a lot of things off the floor, off the desk, and around, and you can get it up on the wall. It makes the whole room feel a lot more roomy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so our number 3 tip is going to be about the casino tricks and little hacks. So for us, we recommend when you first board the ship before the casino even opens, because it won't open until you sail away, also, by the way. Walk through the casino then. Just that way you can take a look and see what kind of slot machines are available. Will likes to see what kind of table games are there, what the minimum bets are.
They do change.
Yeah, they do change. So you'll want to keep that going. And then maybe not necessarily right then and there, but maybe an hour or so before the casino opens, you want to make sure that you also want to make contact with the casino host. You just want them to see your face, introduce yourself, let them know. I like to tell them, hey, I'm here on a see you soon offer that I got from my previous cruise. I'm trying to earn enough points to do the same thing. So that way they just know and see your face when they walk around and they can say hello to you.
All right, number 4, DIY laundry. Now, one of the perks of being elite with Princess is you do get free laundry, but until you get to that level, if you need to do laundry, you're gonna have to do it on your own. So the, there is usually a laundry on each floor. You want to check the map of your floor to see where that's at and how far you've got to go. Best times to do laundry are usually on port days when most people are off the ship. You can just throw it in, set a timer. It's about an hour for the washer, an hour for the dryer, and then go back down and check. And it's kind of helpful to go ahead and take your laundry detergent, some from fabric softener sheets and that kind of stuff with you. And also maybe like a Tide pen, something like that, so that, if just a little simple spill or a stain, you can get rid of that. Kara's even done some laundry in the bathroom, in the stateroom before, and it works okay. But use of that laundry really helps out, especially if you run out of clothes.
And I know he just mentioned it, but certainly setting the timer. Just be courteous because there are going to be people that are waiting for either that washer and or dryer. And also, if you do happen to forget to bring those pods or sheets of laundry detergent with you, you can use your medallion, and they do have options in there for you to purchase the laundry detergent as well as dryer sheets. So that is an option.
It's not crazy expensive,
right,
but it is definitely cheaper if you just, stick some in, a plastic bag or something like that and take it with you.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on into our fifth tip is discovery of the quiet zones on the ship. So again, this is a great thing to do day one before the ship gets really packed and busy. I will say that on most ships, you'll see our videos that we've seen made previously that please check out about the sanctuary. That's going to be a great quiet area that you can check out. It is an upcharge, so you will have that, but that's an option. Also, on some of these princess ships, there's an area called the retreat. That is an adult-only pool area. It normally does have a bar also located there, so that's a great little area where you're not going to have a lot of kids. But also, there's just sometimes some hidden gems that you just need to see for yourself. Maybe not necessarily with a pool lounger, but if you just want to walk around and you're just looking for times to maybe even do a video, let's say, there are plenty of little hidden gems that are all along the boat, but that's a great thing to do even that first day too, if you have the chance to take advantage of that.
Yeah. We were just on the Enchanted, and one of those kind of off the beaten little places is the bar that's behind the non-smoking casino. It was almost deserted all the time. There's a fairly large seating section and almost no one was in there. So great spot to sit and read, or just a little bit quieter than everywhere else.
Yeah. Also, I do want to mention, especially on port days, some areas that are either within the inside of the ship, obviously you're going to have a lot of people that are off the ship doing their excursions and what have you. So it is going to be pretty quiet, particularly if you go to where the areas are going to be held for, say, trivia. So I know on some of those boats, it's going to be called the Princess Live area. I think on some of the other ones, I'm forgetting the name of what some of the older ships are, but you know what the one I'm talking about. I think it's Explorer's Lounge. But those are some great places too, also just to read a book, or even if you want to play cards and you want to stay in the air conditioning if it's a really hot day and not venture outside on deck.
All right, number 6, a big one for us, extension cords. Listen, plugs are few and far between inside your stateroom. So we've got a lot of stuff with the videos and cameras and phones, all that to charge every day. It's very important to have extra plugs, so we use extension cords.
Some of the outlets do have both European and American style outlets, but again, they're pretty sparse. I also know that some of the cruise lines, they don't allow anymore for you to have a power surge adapter if it's pretty big. So just be cautious about that. So what we normally like to pack is the extension cord that might have like 1 or 2 additional plugs that are within it. Obviously, we use the American style as we live here in America, so we don't have to worry about the European style. All right, moving right along. So tip number 7 is all about your pre-booking options before you even board that ship. So one of the things that I immediately do once I book our cruise, I will say this is with the exception of our cruise is normally paid in full right then and there, is to schedule my dining reservations, as those two tend to book up pretty quickly. So you're going to want to log into your app. Again, this is going to have to be once you're or fully booked for the cruise. So you can go on there and do any specialty dining, let's say. So if you have the premier package, you're going to have your specialty dining included in with that. So I would definitely go on there and book like the Crown Grill, Sabatini's, Catch by Rudy, whatever you may have according to your ship. And then if you have the plus package, I do want to stipulate and say that your casual dining, you cannot book those ahead of time. So don't be surprised if you don't see that listed. So for right now, Gigi's and or Alfredo's, and then also O'Malley's, you can't book that ahead of time. So those are not going to be included for the reservations time. But your MDR reservations time, MDR standing for main dining rooms, you can do that ahead of time as well. I would recommend it unless you just really want to be flexible. Typically, there is a line to wait. I don't really know how long it takes people to do that, to be honest with you, just because I do normally like to do the reservations. I'm a bit OCD when it comes to that. But I would recommend doing any kind of dining reservations. In addition to that, you can also reserve any spa treatments as well as any excursions. You do have to pay for those as soon as you book them in your app, so keep that in mind. So if you were wanting to wait until you board the ship, um, just maybe due to financial, budgeting and things, just be cautious that things might book up that you're wanting to do. So I would say if you can, go ahead and try and budget and know that ahead of time you want to go ahead and schedule those excursions and or your spa treatments before you get on the ship.
All right, number 8, make sure to use the app and be familiar with it. On our next sailing, we're planning on doing a full kind of deep dive into the app, showing you everything about it. But there's lots of helpful features. You can find people within your group and see where they're at on the boat. You can, of course, see the full itinerary that would be in your Princess Patter. Every morning, you can see that in the app, and you can even get directions about where you're at to where you want to go. And you can kind of schedule out your day and it'll give you reminders. So it's very, very helpful, but I wouldn't become too reliant upon it.
You can also bookmark according to the My Journey, which Will was just talking about, is what they call the itinerary for the day on the app. You can start bookmarking that ahead of time. I know that they try to post those events, I think about 20 days out from your sailing. So you can go ahead and start looking and seeing what's going to be available on the ship for that. And then also, you are going to get in your stateroom a Princess Patter, is what they also have. So you will have a paper copy. I think we've both found that on certain ships, there have been things listed on the patter that aren't in the app and vice versa. And also keep in mind, if you don't have Wi-Fi for any kind of package, or if you've not decided to purchase it, you can still use the app. Yeah. And that includes like with finding people and messaging people through there. Obviously, you're just not going to be able to do any kind of outside of app searching.
And if you have any trouble, as soon as you get on, getting that app up and running, go straight to, what's the name of the
Ocean Ready?
Ocean Ready.
Yeah.
And the people there are extremely nice. They'll set you up and walk you through the whole thing, regardless of what kind of phone or device you might have.
And just keep in mind, I mean, it is technology. It can be frustrating. We all know what that feels like when internet goes down at your house or what have you. So it sometimes can be a little glitchy. I know that my mom and I even had an experience where our actual medallions, the battery, I guess, that was in them died. So we just had to take it up to guest services and they just replaced it right then and there. And it still had your name and the sailing date and everything on there. So if you keep those as mementos, you don't lose that. But just kind of pack your patience when it comes to the app. I know a lot of people kind of love and or hate the thing, but it's just Princess's way of just trying to up their game. And it is pretty awesome, but just pack your patience if you can't really get it and you're struggling with it. Okay, our tip number 9 is we always like to pack our water bottles and or our tumblers. So Will normally gets up before I do. So he normally goes and gets his cup of coffee and he likes to go ahead and take his own little tumbler with him. And he very graciously brings me back one of my own also. And then I'm a little camel. I drink water all the time. So I carry around, I've got my little Stanley or my little Tervis that I can take around with me, and I can have that refilled with my bottled waters that I typically have around the ship.
It's also nice to have several koozies. If you got like just the foam koozies while you're sitting, if you're poolside or whatever with a drink, I usually have a Yeti koozie that I carry around with me too. I just keep it in. I usually have a strap-on bag that I carry around the ship. Just stick it in there, and you always have it with you.
Yeah.
All right, now the last tip, number 10, is make sure you know your disembarkation options. So what is the day before the last day of the cruise, you're going to get disembarkation stuff in your cabin.
It may even be a couple days before they'll put something in your cabin, knowing that option.
They'll give you your options. If you're a walk-off person, just know you can get off very, very early. Normally, we walk off and we're getting off the boat at 6:30 in the morning. We do live close, so we're usually home by 9 or 9:30.
In fact, I do think they encourage, if you're going to walk off, that you are going to need to do that earlier in the day, just because they're going to have the other groups that are by color and or number for airport transfers, or some people even do an excursion on that last day for the disembarkation. Again, they will deliver that piece of paper to your cabin though, so you'll be able to see what those options are.
Yeah. If you're doing any kind of flight out or anything like that, just you're going to have all that luggage ready the night before and have it out in front of your door. So make sure you know that and are prepared.
Yeah, so that it's kind of sad, but the night before you're going to have to take some time to pack, as Will said. I think that your luggage normally has to be outside of your room. I think it's no later than like 8 p.m. So you do have a little bit of time, but you certainly don't want to wait until the last minute. And then also, I do want to mention with the walk off, there are a couple options in terms of your luggage. So if you decide to do it by yourself, you are going to be responsible for carrying off your own luggage. There is an option too, though. Let's say if you just aren't capable, or you may have a wheelchair or something like that, they will take your luggage for you. But same thing, you're going to have to, I believe, put it off or put it out that night before, and you'll get it just as if you would if you had a flight the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's our 10 tips. Hope they're helpful. And we hope you like the video. We hope all this is helpful to you so that you can have a more enjoyable cruise experience. Make sure to like and subscribe down below.
Yeah, we are putting together, if you haven't seen them already, we're doing a countdown to our Star Princess journey. We were been fortunate enough to be a part of the maiden voyage in the US, so it's the one that's their first maiden voyage in the Caribbean. So we'll be doing that on November the 7th, which we're very excited about. So if you haven't seen any of our short videos about that, be sure to check that out also.